No More Advice, Please is the first episode of the 5th season of the Doris Day Show. This is directed by Marc Daniels. And as I think I mentioned, in the discussion for the previous episode, the finale of season 4, I was kind of nervous about what this season would bring, because with every season from season 3 onwards, we've had quite a significant change. So far, no big changes. In fact, some things become a little bit more apparent, which I kind of like, and I'll talk about that more in a moment. But I still didn't love this episode. I'm kind of getting tired of this whole everybody loves Doris, everybody wants to date Doris, let's just focus on Doris's love life. If it were every now and then, it would be absolutely fine. But when it's constant, it kind of gets a little bit old. With this one, she's actually still with Dr. Peter Laurence, which I really like. He's a likeable character, and it's kind of strange, actually. There's this scene, I think the opening scene, where Doris and Peter are in the apartment and Cy Bennett's coming over, and he actually happens to remark that they're like a married couple. And that's not something we've ever seen with Doris at this point. We haven't seen her in such a committed relationship, and that's a little different, and actually I kind of like that. However, she also has to be interviewing an author, and this author rather likes him. He's called Eric Stewart. He's played by Don Chastain, and as with pretty much every man who's in every episode of the Doris Day Show, he really likes Doris. Not that I blame him, but it just gets a little bit boring, and honestly, I didn't really like her interactions with this character. I didn't think the character was very interesting. Cy Bennett was a bit strange. He was basically forcing marriage onto Doris. And yeah, I know it's a product of its time, and I guess in a way it's actually quite forward-thinking that Doris is in this committed relationship, but they're not immediately jumping to marriage. So in a way, I think the show does a good thing there in showing that actually, even though it's still the 70s, not everybody's automatically getting married once they realise they're happy in a committed relationship. But Cy Bennett was very pushy, a little bit too much. Not that I didn't like the character in this, but his behaviour was a little bit bizarre. And honestly, I just found the narrative to be kind of boring. So I don't know what to expect from the rest of this season. I don't know if we'll have any big changes. I like the fact that, at least for now, things are looking okay. That being said, No More Advice, Please still wasn't exactly what I consider to be a brilliant episode of the Doris Day Show. But I'm going in with an open mind. I'm going in with the rest of this season, hoping for the best. And as long as I like it as much as the previous season, I say I'd liked 50% of season 4. If I like 50% of season 5, that's okay with me. Fingers crossed. But for now, while there's nothing necessarily wrong with No More Advice, Please, I didn't really enjoy it either.